Nobody builds 5G like Verizon builds 5G, because we're the engineers who built the most reliable network in America. And the more you do with 5G, the more building it right matters. The more your network matters. The more Verizon engineers going the extra mile matters. It's us pushing us. It's Verizon versus Verizon. 5G built right from America's most reliable network. Most reliable based on rankings from RootMetrics second half 2020 U.S. report of 3 mobile networks. Results may vary. Award is not an endorsement.
Father's Day is this Sunday, and JCPenney has the perfect gift for your number one guy. Hurry in for hundreds of Dad's Day deals now through Sunday. And find great gifts to celebrate Dad with style, like select men's St. John's Bay polos, only $9.99 each. Plus, save an extra 25% with coupon. Or, if you're a rewards member, surprise him with a new X5 smartwatch, only $39.99. Celebrate one rad dad with JCPenney. Offers and coupon valid through 6/20. Some exclusions apply. Smartwatch excluded from coupons. See store or jcp.com for details.
The following is a Hoop Ball presentation.
Good morning, Hoop Ballers, and welcome to another edition of Hoop Balls DFS Today. This is your Saturday, Juneteenth edition. We have a wonderful one-game showdown, a Game 7 showdown in the Eastern Conference for you. We will have another one tomorrow on Father's Day. Both Eastern Conference matchups went the distance. The Western had a sweep and a really, really good 6-game series. But here we are with the most anticipated series of this round, traveling back to Brooklyn, New York for Game 7. It's going to be a crazy game. This game starts at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But before we get into that, I want to give a quick shout out over to our guys at MyBookie, simply the best sports book around. They have a fully fledged casino platform right at the edge of your fingertips. They have every type of sports bet you want to make, whether it's prop betting, future betting, you name it. They have everything. And again, on the casino side, live dealers, table games, virtual games, slot machines, you name it. They got it all at your fingertips. And it's so simple. All you have to do is sign up, enter the promo code HOOPBALL, and get your deposit matched halfway up to $1,000. So head on over to MyBookie if you want to add a little excitement to the sports you love and the games you bet. Bet with the best. Bet with MyBookie. I also want to give a quick shout out over to our guys at Manscaped. Support for today's episode comes from Manscaped. Manscaped has the right tools to get the job done quickly, safely, and hygienically. Father's Day is tomorrow, and you probably need a gift for a hairy old dad. Make your dad proud this year and get him yourself the Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0 and Ultra Smooth package. It is amazing. You know what they say, like father, like son. The brand new Lawnmower 4.0 and Ultra Smooth package is perfect for you and the dad in your life to complete your grooming game. Get 20% off and free shipping with the promo code HOOPBALL at manscaped.com. Again, that's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use the code HOOPBALL20. It's dad bod season. Time to get smooth. And we have back-to-back holidays on this weekend. Today is Juneteenth. It's also my girlfriend's sister's birthday. Shout out there. Tomorrow is Father's Day, so back-to-back holidays. But we are here to talk and break down this Brooklyn Nets and Milwaukee Bucks Game 7 series. I am excited. I'm doing this one in the morning. I'm sure most of us are excited. Most people think that the winner of this series is going to win it all, and they will be the favorite. So this is a big one. So for tonight, we have a 1.5 point Brooklyn Nets home favorite spread. They are 1.5-point home favorites. And the over-under, the total we have here is 216. On the injury report for the Bucks, we have Jordan Nora and Dante DiVincenzo as out, and the Nets have Kyrie Irving and Spencer Dinwiddie as out. This has been a crazy series. Obviously, the Nets have been missing important people all the time, whether it be James Harden for the first 4 games or Kyrie Irving for the last couple. The Bucks have been missing not a superstar level talent like that, but DiVincenzo, one of their better perimeter defenders, and solid role players there. Oof, forgive me. But we'll start with the Milwaukee Bucks. Oh, 1 second. I need a glass of water. Oh, getting choked up here. Game 7. Conference semifinals. Can't even talk normal, but we'll start with the Bucks here. They are the away team, and we can look at a couple. Their big three had rock-solid games last night, or the other night. Drew Holiday had one of his best games of the series, if not the best game of the series. Points-wise, yes, he played very solid defense on Kevin Durant. And guess what? He played 43 minutes. He shot poorly from the field. He only shot 1 of 10 from three-point range. But fantasy-wise, he scored the most points. Efficiency-wise, wasn't great. Did have rock-solid defense. Wound up scoring the most points. And we have Chris Middleton, who is night and day, home and away. I feel like I've had every game of this series, and every game of this series I switch on if I really want him or not. I know last game he was my favorite play. The dude dropped 38 actual points, 10 rebounds, shot 11 of 16 from the field. He's just another guy when he's at home. He's and then when he's on the road, he's completely different. But he played a fantastic game. He was hitting timely shots. And then Giannis, 30 and 17, did what he does. Hit 60% of his free throws, which was an improvement.
Nobody builds 5G like Verizon builds 5G. Because we're the engineers who built the most reliable network in America. And the more you do with 5G, the more building it right matters. The more your network matters. The more Verizon engineers going the extra mile matters. It's us pushing us. It's Verizon versus Verizon. 5G built right from America's most reliable network. Most reliable based on rankings from RootMetrics second half 2020 U.S. report of 3 mobile networks. Results may vary. Award is not an endorsement.
This Father's Day, let Dad loose at Lowe's and help get his hands on the perfect tools for dad-worthy projects like the Metabo HPT 18-volt line. He'll love a brushless cordless drill or impact driver for $79 or a 4-piece combo kit for $249. With a lightweight, compact design, these tools go where others can't fit. Dad can shop at Lowe's in-store, online, or through our app. Lowe's, the perfect gift for Dad. Valid through 6/24 U.S. only.
And he dropped nearly 56 fantasy points. Obviously, when we start with the Bucks, those are the 3 guys that we're looking at. I want the most of Giannis in a Game 7, especially because now they are back on the road. And I continue to say this, but while Chris Middleton can still put up 40 points or so, he is not the same player at home or on the. He is not the same player on the road, as he is at home. Just look at his splits on the season. Look at his splits in this series. It's not even comparable. You look at his home games, he has nearly 57 fantasy points, 44 in a decisive win, and then 70. And then the 3 games on the road, 35, 25, 41. But he shot 8 of 22 in that 41 game. It's just his shooting percentage, his efficiency is extremely down on the road. Game 7, he is one of the few guys on this team that can actually get his own shot on all levels of the floor. Sorry, Giannis, but he's just not a shooter. So I do give Middleton a little bit of a bump there, but I know he's on the road, and I know I really don't want to pay, and I'm sticking to their utility price, $10K for him on the road. So I'm probably going to lean away from him, try and get the most Giannis there, and maybe some Holiday, but Holiday has been shooting very poorly as well. I think Giannis is the safest of this team. I know he cost the most, but then we can also look at guys like Brook Lopez, who been playing decent. He's been putting up. Last game was his least effective fantasy points-wise game, just under 20 points, the only game under 20 points. But he's been bringing back rock-solid value outside of that for the most part. PJ Tucker is 4,400 now. He was 2,400 the other game, last game. So it's a big price jump there, but it's because we know he's playing a ton of minutes. He's not bringing back excellent fantasy value. Most of his minutes are coming because he's playing defense on Durant, but he is getting extra minutes, and that is something that we like there. But I'm probably not going to go with him at 44. I'd rather just have Brook Lopez. Then I'm looking at Pat Connaughton. He had an awful game last game too. Played 22 minutes, shot 0 of 5, all threes. Had 2 rebounds to his stat line and 1 foul. But he's still getting minutes. He's still playing over guys like Bryn Forbes, and he dropped $800 in his price tag, and he's only $2,000. So that is a guy that I'm going to be looking at to squeeze at the end of my lineups, so I can get some of these bigger names in a showdown slate in the conference semifinals. You're not going to have many guys that are cheap value plays. So when you can get them in there, let's try to, and that's how I feel about Connaughton. But that's pretty much it here. I like Giannis, Connaughton, Brook Lopez, and to a lesser degree, Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton. I think the upside is slightly limited here because they're on the road, and we're in one game showdown where the other team also has superstar players. But let's go on over to those superstar players, and who to start with? None other than Kevin Durant, who 2 games ago put up a 100-point fantasy game. Before I saw that, I didn't realize that you can even get up there, really. But this is Game 7, couple days off. I know he played 48 minutes in that other game where he put up 100, then he played 40 in the last game. Shot 15 of 30, so even though he only scored 32 actual points on 30 shots, did not get to the free throw line like you'd think. Maybe he was a little bit tired there, but he still shot 50% from the floor. His three-point shot was 2 of 8, which was not Kevin Durant-like. But now they're going home. I want as much Kevin Durant as possible in this Game 7. You can hold him down maybe a game and a half. You're not going to hold this guy down for multiple games. At home, he is the best scorer maybe ever on all levels of the floor. And PJ Tucker, Chris Middleton, possibly Giannis if this game gets close late in the stays close and they want to switch it up. They're going to have their hands full. I want Kevin Durant the most out of anybody in this series, in this game, and he is no longer the highest paid guy that falls on Giannis. James Harden, the other guy of the big 3 that's actually playing, because we know Kyrie's hurt, did not want him in Game 6 because he looked bad in Game 5. He looked obviously hurting, obviously hobbled. But Game 6, he looked improved. There was one instance where he stole the ball, and he probably could have had a fast break, easy layup, but he pulled back. He did not want to test that hamstring, and he's playing extremely smart. That's high basketball IQ. He's in it for the long game. But even outside of that, he looked a lot better, a lot more comfortable. Not that he's fully healthy, because I don't even think he's going to have that this entire playoffs. But he still played 40 minutes, and he just looked better. He looked more comfortable. He said after the game that Game 5 was the first time he's ran in a basketball setting type of thing since he went down. So you could see that rust, and you could see it slowly starting to wear off. So if I had to pick, I would take Harden over Chris Middleton. Obviously, that's a $1,400 or $100 price tag, but I would take the top 2 guys over Harden as well. I don't think he's there yet health-wise, but he's looking like he's coming along, and I think that's a very good sign for him and his prospects. Again, I would rather just pay up $600 more and get Durant. I'd rather pay up $800 more and get Giannis, but if you don't have that type of money, I don't mind falling on Harden because he looked a little bit better. Outside of that, Blake Griffin at 7-8. He's pretty much been near Brook Lopez in terms of fantasy points. Brook Lopez had his worst game, just under 20 points in the last one. But they've been very close outside of the game one explosion that Blake Griffin had. Blake Griffin outside of that game has been around 21 to 26 fantasy points in all the other 5. So that's right near Brook Lopez. I think Blake Griffin does have the higher upside, but he also costs $1,800 more, and I don't mind just taking Brook Lopez there and being in that same point price range when I know I want to get a lot of Durant exposure and Giannis exposure at the same time if I can do that. Another guy that I'm looking at is Jeff Green. He's 5,200 now. He did not have a good game in the last one. Shot 2 of 9, 1 of 4 from 3. He still played 36 minutes, and since he's come back in game 4, he's played 27, 35, and 36 minutes. At 5,200, it's going to be very hard to find someone who can do that outside of like a PJ Tucker, but have actual upside to go over 30 points as well, and 20 points even. So Jeff Green is going to be, once again, a guy that should be highly owned here. He scored 19.5 fantasy points on 2 of 9 shooting in the last one. So he didn't even have a good game, but he still played 36 minutes and put up nearly 20 points. So I can't imagine him not making a lot of lineups here. He's not expensive, and he has that upside. And he's playing a lot. He missed those 3 weeks of play, and then he comes back, and the last 2 games, 35 and 36 minutes. That's just crazy. So I will be having a ton of Jeff Green. It's just very hard, again, to find a guy in that price range that you know is going to play 30-plus minutes and has upside to, who has hit upside more often than most of those guys around that price range. Outside of that, Nick Claxton continues to be an intriguing guy for me. I know he's only played 5 minutes in the last 2 games, but they might need to take him in here and have someone else who can bring some post defense and some rim protection. A lot of times, Blake Griffin wasn't the rim protector that they need, and if the Bucks are struggling at shooting and they're trying to get into the paint, Nick Claxton seems like the guy to me that would be the most beneficial for the Nets, but he just hasn't played enough to be very trustful here. Landry Shamet, he's played 50 minutes in the last 2 games. Again, really hasn't done much. He shot 3 of 7 in those 2 games, but he's playing a lot of minutes, and if you're digging deep, I prefer Connaughton, but if you're digging deep and you want to have some different type of exposure, Shamet's playing a lot, so you can look his way if you are very desperate and you just really want to stack up as many of those high-priced guys as you can. When you're playing in it, mostly these teams are very top-heavy, so it is a strategy if you can get a ton of the high-priced guys in there and then load up on other guys. That's a strategy that many will probably try and take. But those are pretty much it. I don't mind Bruce Brown, but I probably won't go there. And probably I don't think I'm going to go Joe Harris because he's very much struggled in this entire series. But again, as I mentioned with Chris Middleton, his home and road splits are night and day as well. He's been much better at home, but he's just been off this whole series, so I can't pay that big price tag in a game like this. But that's it for both teams. I guess I will run down my favorite tiered players of the night. For the high-priced guys, I'm going to go with Kevin Durant, second highest priced guy on the slate. This is a Game 7. This is the one guy in this series that can truly get his shot whenever and wherever he so chooses. Even though he had to work in that last game a lot, I think some adjustments are going to come. It's Game 7. They are at home. It's Kevin Durant. Give me Kevin Durant here. For my favorite mid-play tier of the night, I'm going to go safe and reliable Brook Lopez. $6K, just so you're not paying an arm and a leg there in the mid-tier price tag. But the guy has been just rock steady. He put up 31 fantasy points in Game 3. That was his high mark. And last game was his low mark at 19.75. So he's just in the range of value or near value pretty much. I know he's 6K now. He went up a little bit. That's still not bad considering it's a showdown slate and not everybody that you have on your team is going to hit value here, especially when you're playing two teams that are just very top heavy. But Brook Lopez has shown to have a very steady and consistent floor/ceiling. So I like that in my safe spot here in the mid-tier value. My favorite value play of the night, my bad, lost my track. I lost my word for a second. But I was going to say Jeff Green. He's slightly higher than the value we normally do, but he is still there. I guess I won't say him, and I'll give you guys someone cheaper. And I'll go back to Pat Connaughton. He's only 2K. He played 22 minutes in the last one, 32 before that, and then 22 before that. He's just getting a lot of run here, and while the fantasy points aren't adding up, there's just so much run comparatively to guys in that price range, 3K and below, even 4K and below, because that I want to continue to play the guy that's getting a lot of minutes if I'm down in that range. And there's not many people that I can say that about, and all he has to do is hit a couple shots, and he hits value there, and you can keep paying up for people up in the high price range. So that's where I'll go there. I meant to say Jeff Green, but he kind of just past the value mark, but he's still a value play there too. And I would throw him in there if I'm going at the high mark of the value play, because again, he's been playing a ton of minutes as well, and there's not many guys that I can say that about around that price range that have solid upside there. So those are the guys I'm going to play tonight in Game 7. I can't wait to watch it. It's going to be an absolute great game, I hope. But good luck to everybody, and we will catch you again on Father's Day when we have Game 7 of the Hawks. Or we have the first round of the Western Conference Finals on that day as well. We should have the first game between the Phoenix Suns and LA Clippers in Phoenix, and Game 7 with Atlanta at Philly. So it's going to be a doozy. We'll be back to 2 games in one night, and that should be the last time that we'll say that, since after tomorrow we will only have 4 total teams left in this playoffs as we continue to get closer and closer and closer to the home stretch of the NBA Finals. Also Tuesday, guys, be on the lookout for the NBA lottery. The NBA season is vastly approaching its conclusion, and we have a ton of exciting stuff for the offseason coming up. So thank you, as always, for joining us. You can catch us again tomorrow. I believe it will be Mike and Harris, and we look forward to helping you throughout the rest of these playoffs. Hit your marks. Have a good one, and as Will always says, peace.
"15 minutes could save you 15% or more."
Oh, that's a cheer we used to do in softball.
What? It's actually Geico's.
Whenever someone hit a triple, we would wave our bats and yell, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more. But we never got to use it because we would only hit home runs. Annoying.
The phrase is from Geico because they help save people money.
Geico? Yeah, they were our team sponsor.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
This Father's Day, let Dad loose at Lowe's. He's never seen a to-do list he couldn't tackle, and we have all the power tools and outdoor power equipment he needs. Choose from more than 50 Cobalt 24-volt max tools, including the Cobalt 24-volt max brushless drill kit. Was $159, and now you can gift it for just $89. Plus, Dad can shop Lowe's in-store, online, or through our app. Lowe's, the perfect gift for Dad. Offer valid through 6/23 while supplies last. U.S. only.